Heartbreaks, Neeraj Chopra, bare margins. I mean, what do we say about it? Because in this Diamond League final, which went about at breakneck pace, the latest update we are giving you is that Neeraj Chopra has missed the title by 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter is what made the difference because Anderson Peters threw 87.87 meters, Neeraj Chopra threw 87.86. And because of that, for the second consecutive event, when you look at it, Tokyo Olympics, I mean, when you look at Paris Olympics, silver. Now in the Brussels Diamond League final, Neeraj Chopra has again finished second, and now he will head into surgery. He has to take care of that groin problem because you could clearly see that in his run up, it was not the usual bustling Neeraj Chopra that was there. But
Absolutely.
1 centimeter, Sid. How heartbreaking that can be.
I think it's obviously heartbreaking for all the Indian fans and obviously for us also who cover the sport with a large interest. But then overall, if we have to see Neeraj's consistency, which has been one of the most phenomenal things as far as an Indian athlete is concerned in the past couple of years, I think it's been magnificent to say the least. Because you see, despite the fact that he's not 100%, there is a guaranteed top three finish. And that's why, just to quote you in your words only, that another second place finish, something as Indian fans you would want to relish, you would want to enjoy, you would want to say that, okay, once again, he has made sure that, he has made the flag proud, he's made the country proud. But then what we are now, how we are putting things into perspective, or, how we are, maybe making the narrative here, or he's probably changing the narrative. It is like a second place finish. Somehow it just feels like a slight disappointment, because we all know that when it comes to Neeraj, when it comes to that javelin field, we all know that he is always expected to get the job done, and by getting the job done, it means a number one finish, the numero uno spot.
I mean, there is just a post that is going viral now. 1 centimeter is the size of a ladybug. That is how fine the margins were. Neeraj Chopra, I mean, if you have to look at it, yes, there was the Qatar, the Doha Diamond League, in which he missed the mark by 4 centimeters against Jakub Vatlish.
Yep. Yep.
In Tokyo, Arshad Nadeem had totally blown everyone away. But here, I mean, I'll just give you the sequence. I mean, I'm not looking at the other players, but yes, prior to the start of the javelin event, there was one huge surprise with Jakub Vatlish not starting. Now, what is
Yes.
the reason behind Jakub Vatlish not starting? Either it is an injury or there is something else which is brewing at this point in time. We don't have any particular update as to why Jakub Vatlish didn't start. So it boiled
And
down to
there's one more update that I would like to provide our viewers, because I did receive a few message on my Instagram handle as to why Arshad Nadeem is not a part of the Diamond League despite finishing at the top spot in the Paris Olympics. Well, it's got nothing to do with it. It's primarily that Arshad Nadeem could not secure a spot in the top six of the Diamond League final, so that's why he could not make it. That is the update that we have for you on the Pakistani javelin thrower.
So let me just tell you how much is the thing. I've got the entire Diamond League this thing up right at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
First
sure.
throw by
Even I have
Anderson
it.
Peters, 87.87. He had already set the stage with
Yes.
87.87. Neeraj responded with 86.82. 86.96 by Anderson Peters, 83.49. 83,
Yeah.
85.4 the third attempt, but 87.86. That was the third attempt. And after that, it was 82.04, 83.30, and 86.46 by Neeraj. Then, when you look at
Yes.
it, 85.85, 84.11. But just to rub salt into our wounds, Anderson Peters equals Neeraj's best of 87.
87.86.
So it is really remarkable that what a resurgence Anderson Peters has had, because he won the Zurich Diamond League event, finished third in the Paris Olympics after all the incidents that happened after Oregon with him. Now he wins the Diamond League final in a spectacular display. So we have had 3 editions, 3 different champions, and it's fittingly the top 3 in javelin at this stage. 22 it was Neeraj, 23 it was Jakub Vadlish. Now here it is Anderson Peters at this point in time. So it is really a remarkable exhibition of Neeraj's consistency. I mean, he's finished in the top two for the last couple of years in every major Diamond League event, and that is simply remarkable at this point in time. So one
And if I have
sentiment.
to, talk about the consistency that has been shown by Neeraj Chopra and Anderson Peters, for that matter, even I have the scorecard with me. If you look at the other athletes who performed in the same event, you have Julian Weber, Adrian Madre, then Roderick Dean, Arthur Felfner, and Timothy Herman. You look at the number of throws that they had, or the scores of the throws that they had. The best that either of them could reach: Weber 85.97, Adrian 82.79, and I'm talking about the best score that they had at the event. Then Dean Roderick was 80.37, Arthur was 79.86, and Timothy Herman was 74.46. So I think it can be unarguably said that there was light years difference between the remaining four athletes in comparison to Anderson Peters and Neeraj Chopra.
We knew that it would be a two-horse race, and we also, in the preview that we have done on Sports Today, we had highlighted that Neeraj was going to finish certified in the top two because the other javelin throwers did not inspire that much confidence. And when Vedlesh withdrew, and the name that Siddharth Gulati is mentioning, Timothy Herman was the individual who replaced Jakub Vedlesh. So
Yes.
Vedlesh at this point in time, he withdrew, so we knew now for certified it was going to be a two-horse race. Peters or Neeraj Chopra. Now, 87.87 to 87.86. How disastrous it can be when, okay, is it, we'll both ask this first, I'll ask you. Do
Hmm.
you think a fitter Neeraj Chopra, if he had not had that groin injury, he could have easily surpassed Anderson Peters, or do you think it would still have been a challenge?
I think he could have easily surpassed the 90-meter mark. I'm 110% sure about it because a fitter Neeraj, or let's just go back to the Paris Olympics. Okay, even a half fit Neeraj was able to get a score of 89.49, if I'm not wrong, at the Paris Olympics, which was enough for him to secure a silver medal there. Now, the point here is that he himself said that he's going to take part in the Diamond League and then take a call on whether he would want to have a surgery or not on the groin that's been troubling him for the past couple, few months now. Now, what it basically goes on to show that even a half fit Neeraj is a very deadly competitor. He's still pretty much, I wouldn't really say that he's indomitable, but the kind of consistency that he's showing, it pretty much goes on to predict that in the years to come, he might just reach that indomitable mode. Or if I have to put a very famous video game into this conversation, the Unreal Tournament, you have to once you reach the indomitable mode, the next mode that you usually reach is godlike. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if Neeraj can really reach there. We can obviously bring these things up for discussion, but then a fully fit Neeraj, I think he has a good chance of crossing the 90-meter mark.
See, we all have argued that there is nothing left for Neeraj to prove. He's achieved the
Exactly.
champions,
Exactly.
World Athletics Championship, Diamond League event, Diamond League final, Olympics, Asian, Commonwealth, Federation, South Asian. He's achieved everything that he has to. Now, the 90-meter mark is something that he hasn't done. Okay. Even a fully fit Neeraj Chopra came close to 89.94 in Stockholm, and that was a couple of years ago. If now my follow-up question to this, I also agree with you that he could have easily defeated Anderson Peters had it not been for that injury of his. But
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
follow-up question to that is, Sid, how will you now view Neeraj's season now that the season is over with the Diamond League final? Now the season is ended. How would you view Neeraj's entire season? Is it a missed opportunity, or does it not prove anything? He's already the best in the business, or do you think there are some areas where he has to improve in that sense?
Okay, okay. So I'm going to put it from multiple perspectives, starting with a fan perspective that as a fan or as a casual fan, I'm pretty much satisfied with the performances that Neeraj has had, not just in the Diamond League final here, but even at the Paris Olympics and the events preceding to that. So overall, another consistent performance because even as a casual fan, I would see the kind of consistency that Neeraj is showing or has shown ever since or before the Tokyo Olympics, where he won the coveted gold medal. So that's like, a perspective from a very fanish angle. But overall, if I have to say, what it tells me as a media person or as a journalist, if I have to, read anywhere, between the performances that Neeraj has had, I'm just going to signal, I'm just going to, pinpoint a very clean signal to his competitors that watch out, even a half fit Neeraj is going to be deadly for you. So even if, there is an event that takes place in a, maybe let's say a couple of years time, hypothetically, and even Neeraj is not fully fit there, we'll have to make sure that even a younger athlete, let's say, a 22 or 22-year-old, 23-year-old athlete, comes into the picture, he's, grabbing all the limelight with those 90-meter throws. Then also I'm going to probably tell him that watch out for Neeraj Chopra because he's not going to be easy to beat, despite the fact that he's aging and despite the fact that he's fully fit. So for me, I think it's about it. What it shows is that, it's athletes' commitment that Neeraj has displayed despite not being 100% fit. And that's what I think any sport is all about, that even if you're not at your 100% fitness, you have to make sure that you go out there, perform to the best of your ability. And that's what Neeraj has done. And what it really shows that, how he's turned out to a world class athlete, because he's been able to keep up with those performances despite the fact that he has been able to manage those injuries, and yet secure, a consistent top three finish, or in fact, I should say a top two finish.
For me personally, now with the season over, I think this is a wake up season for him. It's a wake up
Okay.
for two reasons. One, he now has realized that the competition has caught up.
Yeah.
Post COVID, they were still grappling with how to get back into rhythm and all those kind of things. So it was a new territory for all. The field was equal. So Neeraj managed that. But we all highlighted Sid in the Paris Olympics that his throw of 87.58 in Paris could have landed him with a sixth place in Tokyo. In Tokyo, sorry,
Yes.
reverse. 87.58 in Tokyo could have landed him a sixth place spot in Paris.
Yeah.
Now, that means that the competition has now increased. He's had three second place finishes very prominent in this season. One was Doha, where he finished 4 centimeters behind Jakub Verdish.
Yeah.
Paris, when you look at it, he was really undone by a freak throw from Arshad Nadeem, so that you cannot do anything about it. But Arshad Nadeem gave you an indication that yes, if you have to be in the competition, you have to throw 90 meters. Look at it.
Exactly.
Vadlish has thrown 90. Arshad has thrown 90. Anderson Peters has thrown 90. But in that one glimpse, unfortunate that the host broadcasters did not show it, but in that one glimpse that he had, that they showed of Neeraj, his run-up was not the Neeraj Chopra run-up that we.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes. And that was also the case in Paris Olympics. His run-up wasn't really 100%, in something that we also discussed. I remember we all were part of that discussion, that despite being that, he's able to, get those good throws.
yep. But now he has to also grapple with another thing. Yes, the 90-meter mark now is almost mandatory. Okay, but the second part is injuries are happening to him at the worst time, and the law of averages is kind of catching up with him. Now it's
Yep.
not guaranteed anymore, boss. Even a centimeter matters. Every centimeter in javelin matters, and that is why now Neeraj Chopra has to really ensure that he has a perfect game almost every single time, because Anderson
Exactly.
Peters, Arshad Nadeem have all gotten the foothold. Now they are not going to let go of it very easily at this stage. You don't beat Neeraj Chopra that often, and Anderson Peters knows it. Arshad Nadeem has known it prior to Paris. He had never beaten Neeraj. In Paris, he needed two freak throws to beat him, and even here, Anderson Peters just managed to escape by the barest of margins, 1 centimeter. Boss, now for all sports fans, understand one thing: every gram matters, every centimeter matters in the quest for some excellence. Vinesh Fogart showed it to you in the hard way. Neeraj now with experience.
You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it, because the other day I was having the same discussion with someone, and my point was, you could not keep your weight under the permissible limit. End of discussion. That's
End
it.
of this. Exactly. So that
So,
is
Siddharth,
why.
I have a question for you here. Now, this is something that I really wanted to know your opinion with respect to this. So usually we have seen in most of the sports, be it individual or team sports, that when an athlete crosses 30, your reflexes usually, tend to get slow. Now I was looking at Neeraj Chopra's age, just now, and he's around 26, 27. So by the time the 2028 Olympics come, he's going to be 30. What do you think, like how have usually the javelin throwers performed as and when they have aged, as and when, they have crossed 30 or plus?
Okay, so look at Jakub Vadlish. Vadlish
Yeah,
is 30. Okay. Vadlish at this point in time is having a very up and down season. Okay. So, what I am stressing is even if you go to 33, 34, suppose Neeraj plays until 2032 Brisbane. Okay. But his peak performances will be few and far in between. Not
exactly.
everybody can be a Jan Zelesny, but also I'm adding a caveat in that is that Zelesny's period was totally different. The javelin was different,
Yeah.
everything else was different. So as you approach 30, 34, the peak performances will start to reduce at this stage. So Neeraj will be there. I mean, he will be there right up in the top two, top three, always. But the consistency might then go down. And that is the reason why there is a fear. I am fearing at this point in time that maybe his peak might last one more year. And then it will take
Okay.
something superlative for him to get back into contention. Because now he doesn't have to prove anything. He's already achieved everything. It's like Armand Duplantis. Duplantis has achieved everything that needs to. He's completed total
Yes. Pole vault.
European Championships, Diamond League winner, World Athletics champion, Olympics champion. Now to maintain that peak is the next challenge for Neeraj. And age, I have cited Vedlish's case. Anderson Peters, on the other hand, one of our family members has stated in this, like what Priyanshu has said. Arshad, Neeraj, and Anderson Peters, for the next few years, these three will be the medalists. Color of medals will keep changing.
Keep
I
changing. Yeah.
I'm tempted to agree with that totally because these three will keep on doing it, but Arshad Nadeem also. The challenge for these two, Nadeem and Neeraj, is that maintaining that consistency as with age.
Exactly.
Arshad Nadeem has got has got age, but his fitness is a major concern. So
Yes.
Neeraj, on the other hand, I will take this particular comment also from Sudarshan. Okay,
Yeah.
all these 85 to 89 throws he's done are sheer upper body throws. He's not even fully using his lower body. I'm 100% sure he's going to add another 2 to 3 meters once he's fully fit by Tokyo 2025. What he's alluding to is that World Athletics Championship that will be held in Tokyo in 2025. So Neeraj at this point in time, I agree. His lower body, there is an article why he's not able to throw 90 meters. There is a particular way. I think his run up and his adductor has to be stronger. His
Yeah.
build is different. Nadeem's build is different. Nadeem is sheer brute power through his back and his shoulder. Anderson Peters is sheer power of his shoulder. He also doesn't have a very conventional run up, but the sheer power of his shoulder that is allowing him to
Yes.
go 2 3 meters extra. So that is why Anderson Peters, Neeraj Chopra, and Arshad Nadeem, these three might be there in the fray. The European dominance is over. So that is why it's going to be a big, big challenge for Neeraj. As age catches up, his peak might reduce. So
Mm.
maybe 25 and 26 will be the key years for him because he may not have a Commonwealth. He could directly play Asiad. So that is why World Athletics Championship 25, Asiad 2026 is going to be vitally, vitally important. Even the World Athletics Championships also in 2027. So let's hope
Exactly.
age
Uh,
that.
there's this one more comment from Tushar Mehra that conditions did not weren't really favorable. Every thrower's throw was below 88.
Yes, every thrower's throw was below 88 today. The conditions, yes, it was raining in Brussels apparently. I could see wet patches. Plus, the wind factor also was such that you couldn't get it past 88. I think the wind was against him at this point in time. So, yes, everybody struggled. But also, I think since it's the end of the season, fatigue could have crept in. Fatigue is a
Possible,
major.
possible.
So, end of the season, people are just looking forward to a long break. It has been a very grueling season. This was Olympic year, by the way, and amidst all that, you did the Diamond League final also after the Olympics. So maybe people are not that motivated at this point. Also, that might be one factor. It's a speculative factor, but yes, long season fatigue. Everybody is now wanting to go. Anderson Peters also, he threw below his Tokyo, I mean his Paris best. So that's why I think
Yes. Yes.
it's going to be a major thing. But then,
Brings me back to the situation of Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic, something that both of them pinpointed after their US Open eliminations in the earlier rounds.
yep, sing a song with Anand along. Hello, I'm your favorite follower, Anand Kishore. Yes, Anand, thank you so much. But then he is reminding me of this. Oh, come on, Sid Vishy, don't recall that weight cut moment. No Indian or even world will we shall forget that even in afterlife. Well, she had one job to do and she couldn't do that. So that's the major thing. There is
Okay.
no Tapan is saying there is no major
Yeah.
fitness issue with Arshad. I think there is. I think he's also having a groin issue, but that is why he didn't play in the Diamond League after the end of the Olympics. He needed to play in one so that he could qualify for the final, but he
See,
couldn't get.
usually, I try and put things into perspective here for Tapan. So, usually for athletes, like, have had their, upper body, like, very, in Hindi, we say, like, very chauda, very broad. So usually they tend to have those kind of injuries that take a toll on their knee or take a toll on their legs. Case in point being Shoaib Akhtar. You look at the kind of injuries that he had, when he played cricket, but because the kind of upper body that he had was pretty much broad. And in case of Arshad Nadeem, also you look at the arms that he has, or the wrist, also very strong, very broad to say the least. But then in case of Arshad, also his strong point is obviously aren't his legs, or aren't the fact that how swift he runs or the fast he runs. But then that's where all the power that he generates, it basically comes from the wrist or the strong hand that he has. So I think just from that perspective, I think Arshad will have to make sure that his lower body stays in shape.
Yep. So Rookie Techie is like saying hockey final. It seems India versus Pakistan. Pak is playing China in semis. Well, we hope so. It was a very very tight encounter. It was a tight tussle. If it's a repeat of that in the final, who knows at this point in time?
Yeah,
Priyanshu is like saying, Sidvi, you're a movie buff. Tell about Radhika Sarath Kumar who recently shared selfie with Virat. Okay, so Radhika Sarath Kumar is the wife of Sarath Kumar. And Sarath
yeah.
Kumar, if you remember, he was there in the Tamil version of Chandramukhi. Okay, I was not sorry. Of what was that Akshay Kumar film here, that horror film where he was.
Bhul Bhulaiya.
No, not Bhul Bhulaiya, the one that he just played. The one with Kiara Advani. What was that film? Akshay
That
Kumar.
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi, yes.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
that
yeah.
role, it was Sharath Kumar who played that role. So it was a very, very good thing. Sharath Kumar is a veteran actress, by the way. Radhika Sharath Kumar, I remember she acted in a lot of Hindi films in the 80s. She acted in Ganga Jamuna, in that Amitabh Bachchan film in the 1989s. That was
Hmm.
the film. Then Radhika has acted in one more with Rishi Kapoor, if I am not mistaken. So yes, she's quite good in that way. And Anand is like saying, please tell recent upcoming sporting events in javelin and badminton. If any badminton, there is some one.
Nothing much of javelin.
Yeah, javelin it's finished. The season's over now, Anand. Badminton, you may have some BW 1000 events plus the World Badminton Championships also. If you're
Even a
Indians,
couple of, I think there could be a couple of super series also, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, okay, Nasir Abbas from Pakistan. Hi, sir. My name is Nasir Abbas, and I really like your channel. Neeraj Chopra, an amazing person. Oh, thank you, Nasir Abbas, for such a kind word. And yes, Neeraj Chopra and Arshad Nadeem, two really big stars from the subcontinent who have destroyed European dominance. And because of that, we really salute them at this. Priyanshu, Naseeb Apna Apna. Yes, Naseeb Apna Apna. Yep. So
Okay.
that brings an end to an arduous javelin season. It's been heartbreak for Neeraj, 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter. Hopefully, he comes back after the surgery. Hopefully, he comes back better and he breaches that 90-meter mark because in 2025 onwards, 90-meter is going to be the new benchmark at this point.
True,
So there
true,
are a
true.
lot of track and field events. Yes, absolutely. But he will just. I think the main focus now is done. We are not winning much in track and field. Avinash Sable,
Yeah.
I did a live yesterday. He finished ninth.
Yeah, and I think for all those who have just joined us, so the Indian challenge at the Diamond League has ended because there were two athletes, who took part in two different events. There was Avinash Sable who finished ninth in the 3,000-meter men's steeplechase, and now there is Neeraj who just finished second in the men's javelin throw behind Anderson Peters, and the
1 centimeter.
difference was just 1 centimeter.
Exactly, exactly. So yes, that is the end. But then there are still sporting events coming up. If you don't want to have cricket, there is the Hockey Asian Champions Trophy that we played on Monday, and then it is going to be the Chess Olympiad that will be there till 22nd. So do support India. They are participating in a lot of sports. So we in Sports Today will be giving you all that. So for me and Sid, it is good night, heartbreak, but life moves on. So bye bye. See you. Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri, Shabbake.